It's time to roll for Turaco. Subscribe. Welcome back to Roll for Turaco. This is Frank, and in today's video, we're going to be making some magic items. But before we get to that, I have a PayPal tip jar link in the description below. So if you like what I do and you want to show support, you can do that by tipping whatever you want. Now, if you can't afford to tip, but you still want to support this channel, subscribing, liking the video, commenting actually helps a lot. It pushes the video up and more people can find it, or just sharing this to someone you think that they'll like it. Now let's get back to the meat of this video, and that's magic items. We're gonna be doing some magic items. I drew these right here. I sketched these up, and these are Turaco based magic items. The Eye of Turaco, a little Turaco statue, and a giant Turaco statue. And I'll talk about each of those as the video goes on. Now, if you're wondering what's with all the Turacos, well, there is a video I did a while back, what roll for Turaco means to me, and I do talk about wanting to make Turaco based magic items, and these were some things that I talked about. So this is going to be you're actually going to be seeing what I'm talking about. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Let's take a closer look at the sketches that I drew. I drew these on index cards, and we're going to get a better look at these. So I did do 3 sketches. I drew the giant Turaco statue, the medium Turaco statue, and the Eye of Turaco, which you can see right here. And let's start with the Eye of Turaco. With the Eye of Turaco, I can win this fight. Maybe. The Eye of Turaco is a gem. There's a legend behind it. It's mystical, it's magical, there's rumors. People are trying to find the Eye of Turaco. It is hard to find. I'll tell you a secret. There's actually more than one Eye of Turaco. And I'll talk about that later in this video. The Eye of Turaco acts more like a booster, a catalyst. It'll enhance spells from any caster, and it's also a very valuable gem. I have a Bardic Thief character called El Cotoro, and he has the Eye of Turaco on his lute right there. It's attached to his lute, his instrument. The way El Cotoro uses the Eye of Turaco, if he's playing a song on his instrument, his lute, in this case it's a lute, he may switch up instruments. The Eye of Turaco here is a small fragment of a larger gem, but it makes it compact. Something I forgot to mention is that only casters can use the Eye of Turaco. If it's a cleric, magic user, druid, bard, if you can cast, then you can use this. Back to what I was saying about El Cotoro and the way he uses the Eye of Turaco. For example, if his party is in a battle, or if they're just trying to talk their way out of something, he will play a song of encouragement, and the entire party gets a +1 modifier added to whatever ability score it is that they're using at the time, or a weapon. They get a +1. It also depends on the level of the caster. So El Cotoro is level 1 through 2. It's going to be a +1 modifier for everyone. Level 3 to 5, +2. Level 6 and up, it's going to be a +3. Because it is powerful, you're going to want to let the Eye of Turaco recharge for an hour, and then it can be used again, but I would limit how often you can use it. An added effect that the Eye of Turaco has is when it's in use, if it's something good, for this example, the Song of Encouragement, it's going to be a green translucent light Turaco, almost holographic, almost ghostly. So you're going to see this giant green Turaco flying around, encouraging people. And that's actually how El Cotoro got his name because when he would use it and villagers saw it, they thought it was a parrot. And parrot is cotoro in Spanish. Now, if El Cotoro is using a song of fear, it's going to be a ghastly red Turaco. It's going to be gruesome. It's going to strike fear into all the nearby enemies. If he's using it to heal, it's going to be a awesome purple Turaco. I've been using El Cotoro as an example, but depending on what player finds the Eye of Turaco, it, it's going to go with that. So if a cleric is using it, it's going to be a purple Turaco. If a magic user is using it, it can vary from green to red. You can even add yellow in there, just depending on what spell what is it that you're trying to do. Have fun with it. That's the main thing that I want you to take away from this video. Just have fun with the Eye of Turaco. Have fun with the spells. Have fun with this awesome statue. So this is a small statue of a Turaco, and you can see in its eyes are the gems that where the Eye of Turaco comes from. These are the Eye of Turaco, or are they? There's more than one Turaco statue. These are effigies that were made to just show tribute and appreciation to the Turacos that lived in a certain part of the jungle. And Turacos do exist; they still exist. But there were legends of giant Turacos, and these statues were made to show reverence to the giant Turacos and show that hey, we're friends, don't hurt us. But the villagers, the tribe that revered the Turacos, they're long been wiped out. There have still been legends and stories told about giant Turacos being seen in deep within the woods. Whether there could be a couple that survived, but there's also a giant Turaco statue, and that could be what people are seeing. Now, this giant statue is guarding the temple, and in that temple, you can have a lot of adventures. There's secret rooms, and there's actually a hidden mine deep within the temple, and that's where there's all these gems, and these are the gems that are used in some of the statues, and there is one in the giant Turaco statue. And that drawing of the giant Turaco is actually a scroll that was found. And that's something you can use for an adventure. The small Turaco statue was inspired by the Maltese falcon. So if you want to run a detective or noir style campaign, you can use the statue. And I did print out the colorless line art version, or some of this does have some shading, but it didn't quite show up in the printing. But yeah, this is just a black and white version. So I got the Eye of Turaco. And the Turaco statue, and as you can see, I did change the font because I used a different font in the video, but I wanted to match the font I used for this one. And I added a little bit more shading on this one. I like how this one looks in black and white. So there's the black and white version. And you saw it briefly there. So this is the loot. This belongs to El Cotoro. And you can see right there a little Eye of Turaco. Could be a smaller piece that was chipped off a bigger piece, or other pieces, depending on how you use it. And the way I'm thinking is there's more than one, but not everyone knows that there's more than one. Anyways, that's that. You probably want to see the giant Turaco. Here's a scene. So I do want to turn this into a physical item, more a scroll, Not squirrel, scroll. Squirrel in the game. Okay. So this will be like an ancient parchment, you know, something that's found, which is why I was toying around with adding the color on there. But it's better if it's black and white, and then I can do what I want to do to the paper itself. So here is the giant Turaco. But, it probably looks better. If it's going to be a magic item, it probably should be bigger. So here we go. This is a good size. And turn this into a scroll. And well, let's do that now. I have my pan ready, and I did vary on the way that I usually do this. I've done this before. There's a video where I made a spell book, so I wanted the paper to look old and aged, and mostly I use coffee for that. This time, I just used some water, a little bit of water. I might have not used any coffee at all. There might have been just a little bit, but mostly it was water. Uh, and what I wanted to do was I wanted that water to break up the stains from this pan, because I used this pan quite a while. It's a few times. It's my baking pan. So I wanted those stains to kind of break off, and I tried to spread around on the paper, on the illustration there of the giant Turaco statue and the adventures there. So this is going to be my scroll. So you can see the water is already turning brown. Some of the stains is already starting to come off on the paper, and that's what I wanted. And I didn't want it too dark. I just wanted light, but I want it to look like it's aged and it's been around for a while. And then I just put it in the oven for a few seconds. I think I did 30 seconds. I was checking it, and after I got how I wanted, I let it dry, and now it's ready. There we go. There's a crease there, so that didn't get covered. It was just a little bit of water with just a little bit of coffee that was left over, little coffee grains. I mean, coffee grounds that I used to make this the water. The back does look fairly decent, fairly vintage. Yeah. I just wanted it wet in certain areas. I didn't really want it completely soaked. So I think for now, I think this is good for now. If I'm gonna do this again, I'll use a little bit more coffee. And the pan that I use, it does have. I mean, it's been used, so some of the stains does cling on, and that's what I wanted. So I think next time I'll just be careful when I putting the whole thing in there in the center. So I'm cutting in because I want to actually show the finished product turned into a scroll. Scroll, word. So I did end up just taking a lighter and burning just a little pieces here and there, burning the corners. This is what it looks like once dried. And I did have some of this string left over. I think this was from the Monster Rangers RPG. I think that was holding it together like a package. So for now, this will do, and now you have an in-game item. And this is the Turaco scroll, the legend of the Eye of Turaco. And I forgot to mention this earlier and show it earlier, but uh, the reason I'm creating this stuff is for my own game that I'm developing, and it's still in the very early process. But you can also use it for your game. If you want to use it, feel free to use it. But this is the character sheets I did of Captain Goggles and Matt Schoolman. These are just the smaller ones that I printed out. I I just had them in a PDF file and just printed multiple on one page, and so I got this nice smaller size. But yeah, so it's going to be for this game. I want I want Turacos in it because that's actually where uh, the Turacos came from. So, and it's my logo. It's part of the branding. Uh, this has been Frank Salazar for Roll for Turaco, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to roll for Turaco. Subscribe.